What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Abe Nassif here with the first video on the new channel, Car Hub. Now, for this channel, I want to do it specifically all about cars, whether that's reviewing cars, rating cars, just me talking about cars, a list like I'm about to do right now, which you already know by the base of the title. It's the 5 best first cars for you car enthusiasts out there. You just turned 16, you just got your driver's license, now you're looking for that hot whip to go flex around school. Now, when I say hot whip, I'm not talking about no Mercedes. Nothing special, nothing extra fancy here. There is a BMW on this list, but when I do pull it out, it's not the craziest BMW, you know what I mean? It's still a fantastic car, but it's not the craziest one. Now, to start off this list, unusual one, but Ford Mustang. See, I had a friend of mine, first car he got was a Ford Mustang. I think it was a blast to drive, man. Rear-wheel drive, we had a whole lot of fun in the snow. I'm up in Canada, so you already know we got a whole boatload of snow. Now, this thing, super fun. I learned how to drift in it. He learned how to drift in it. I don't know. Am I the best drifter? No. Can I drift? Yes. Is it thanks to this Mustang? Yes. Did I hit any crowds? No. See, big thing is, with Mustangs and crowds, is people stunting and showing off when they don't know what they're doing. Now, if you know how to drive, you know how to drift, you're not going to go hit some crowds. You know what I mean? But anyways, this Mustang specifically, I'm talking about the 5th generation Mustang, which goes from 05 to 09. And this is going to be the only car on the list that I'm specifically talking about one generation. Now, these cars can go anywhere from the low 3s to like about 10K, depending on the year, whether it's the GT, the V6. The GTs will obviously still, surpass that 10K mark, but you can still find them out there. Now, rear-wheel drive, big engine in the front. Even if you got the V6, for especially mid to late 2000s, the 250-ish horsepower thing runs is still decent in today's standards. And I'm talking about a 15-year-old car, you know what I mean? Still going to be a fantastic and fun car to drive, and a great car to learn how to drive and how to handle a rear-wheel drive car, how to understand when to let off the throttle, when to add more throttle, when to not hit the brakes. Everyone, like, I don't know about you guys, we got a lot of snow here. People will start fishtailing. First thing they do, hit the brakes. I don't know why. Immediately into the ditch. You already know. Don't hit your brakes if you're going to start sliding and spinning, guys. Just let off the gas. Now, for a 16-year-old, this is going to be a fun car, man. I'm talking a fun car. But with that being said, all of these cars, fun cars. Now, I'm just putting this list together. It's for you to figure out what's for you. These are all based on my opinion. If you guys have different opinions, feel like I should have added a car or I should not have added a car, make sure to leave that down in the comment section below. Now, on to the next one. The Subaru Impreza / WRX. Now, I'm not going to add the STI to this list. You can go ahead and go get yourself an STI if you can afford it. That's the only reason I did not add it to this list, is because the average first-time car buyer is not going to go and buy a freaking STI, you know what I mean? If you can afford it, by all means, go for it. If not, Subaru got you with the WRX and the Impreza. Now, you can go 2-liter turbo with the WRX. You can go with the 2.5-liter naturally aspirated on the Impreza. Whatever is for you, go automatic or manual. I would recommend to every car on this list, I would highly recommend getting a manual. Honestly, it's not that hard to learn. You learn in 5 minutes, and it'll take you 2 to 3 weeks to get used to how to drive. But the reason I'm recommending manuals is automatics have a lot more things that can go wrong, and they're a lot more costly to fix or replace compared to a manual transmission. It's a lot easier to repair stuff on it, and on top of that, it's a lot harder for stuff to break. With that being said, though, there are a couple of generations of the Subaru Impreza / WRX that does have a weaker transmission, so I wouldn't recommend going and banging through all these gears, but still a great car to learn how to drive in and have fun. They are all-wheel drive, so if rear wheel or front wheel is not your cup of tea, you want them both together, this is going to be the car for you. This is the only all-wheel drive car on this list. Another car is all-wheel drive, but it has the option between rear and all-wheel drive. And now let's get to that car. Got the E46 3 Series. Now, it's given a whole bunch of different models. You know BMW, they'll put the 3 and then these 2 digits after it that most people don't know what they mean. But 3 obviously means it's the 3 Series. It's the shape, styling of the car. And then the second 2 digits are what engine it has in it. So you can have a 320i, 325, a 328, a 330. Now, if you have a 325, me personally, I have a 325. And that's got a 2.5 liter motor in it. Now, easiest way to tell between BMWs, the higher that number is in the back, the better performance you're going to get out of this car. So if you're going for like a 335i versus a 340i, personally, I love the B58 more. So, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, these things come in so many different engine options for all you people out there that just don't know what you're looking to get into. Get them as low as like $2,000, man. They can go all the way up to like 12. You can get an M3 for like 15. You know what I mean? But they are great cars. They're rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. That's the one I was talking about. It's a fun car to drive. Good car to learn how to drive stick in. It's got a really fantastic manual transmission. And like I said before, I would highly recommend you get this manual. Overall, man, it's a great car. You got the 50-50 weight distribution. So when you're learning how to slide, you know how to handle this thing, man. Now onto the second car. Now, most of these cars have been rear-wheel drive, except obviously that one all-wheel drive with the Subaru. But this one is no different. This is the 350Z, no-brainer. Even though I own an E46, I'm going to put this 350Z higher on the list for one reason. Okay, let's say two reasons. Okay, for two reasons, I'm going to put this 350Z higher on the list. And that's because you get more power, stock, as well as... Oh, maybe it was just the one. Yeah, I would say it's just the one, actually. Really, you just get more power stock. They both have... every car on this list actually has a fantastic aftermarket support for it. So getting parts, getting them cheap or cheaper, really not that hard to do. You can build some of these things into fantastic, good-looking machines for under 10K. You know what I mean? You can get it for 10K, for under 10K, and then put under 10K on it. You got a under 5K on it, and you have a fantastic look, sound, and drive. Now, the 350Z comes with 3.5 liter V6. Makes about 287 to 300 horsepower, depending on the year and whether it's in Nismo or not. Now, I've seen these things go anywhere from 3 to 10K. I notice every car on this list is about 3 to 10K range. The reason that's such a big gap is you can get a complete, turd for $3,000, or you can have the money. If you have the money, you can go and get one for 8 to 10,000 and something nicer that you don't have to put as much maintenance into or even preventative maintenance into. But as long as you keep your resonators on these VQs, these 350 and 370Zs, that's why they sound like trumpets. That's why everyone makes fun of them for sounding like trumpets. It's because everyone will just straight pipe it and take out the resonator. Keep the resonators. It doesn't matter what car you have. Always keep your resonators, guys. It will guaranteed it's gonna sound better, okay? Now, for the first and final, well, I guess it's the fifth and final, but it's number one car, is the Honda Civic. Now, before you guys go and start hating on the comment section, these things are fantastic driver's cars, okay? And aftermarket support, ridiculous. Go on something as cheap as Amazon or eBay, you can build a whole car for like $1,000, man. You know what I mean? You got and a good looking one at that too, So that's the reason I added the Honda Civic to the number one spot, because you can get them for as the cheapest on this list, anywhere from 2 to 5K. Obviously, this is for older generations. There's 10 generations to choose from. My personal favorite's got to be the 8th generation, but that's just my favorite. Now, if you can get an SI, it'd be even better, especially for you car enthusiasts, man. The SI, you get a nice little bump in power, some stiffer suspension, some better steering. These things are fun, man. They're literal go-karts. Yes, just like the E46, it's not that fast a straight line car. Bet you the fastest car straight line in this list is probably the 350Z. The slowest in this list, probably the Civic, honestly, if not the E46. But honestly, maybe even the Impreza. But this Civic, not fast at all. But stupid fun, man. Stupid fun. Super easy to build. You can make them really clean. I know whenever I go to a car show and I see one of these things, I get excited. You know what I mean? There's so much trash behind it, but the Honda Civic has a cult following. You know what I mean? And they have that for a reason. This car's been around since the 70s, and it's still going to be around. So, I don't know. But that's my list of top 5 cars to get for your first car as a car enthusiast. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm planning on posting every single Monday, so make sure you hit that subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you can hit this video a thumbs up, it really helps me out, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. Now, one thing I did forget to mention, guys. Put down in the comments below what you want to see for the next video. Give me some thoughts, some ideas. What do you guys want to see? You know what I'm saying? Just let me know. I'll do the best I can.